Oh, welcome back to iHeart Crypto, where I take you through my journey through crypto. So, welcome. Let's get this up real quick. There we go. Okie dokie. So, Bitcoin coming in at $41,951, almost $42,000. And for the past, God knows, from November 9th at the top, that was $69,000. We have been in this downtrend. When today is January 20th? Yeah, January 20th and Thursday. So, what's going on with Bitcoin? Bitcoin has been in this falling wedge for December, January, 2.5 months now. Maybe close to 3 months. So we are in a falling wedge, and as you can see, we are kind of reaching the apex of this wedge right here. And we have this uptrend of support coming in right there, and we have this downwards channel coming in right there. And we are reaching the apex, so there could be a breakout, whether it's up to the upside or down to the downside. Back down to about 30K would be the next target. Up here, the next target would be at the very, very most 52,500, and if we break that, we can continue up to all-time highs. I do have some levels marked here. Our first line of support is about 39,600. Our next level of resistance is about 44,200. Our resistance after that is about 46,000. With a high volume node at 47,000 and then up to about 52,000. So those are the levels we have to break in order to continue to all-time highs and to get this market up. That being said, let's take a look at lower time frames. As you can see, our thesis on this channel was that we were coming down here, and from here we said we would come up, test that line, which we didn't exactly do, come down and fill this wick right here. So fill this wick right here. One thing about Bitcoin is that it does like to fill its wicks, and one proof of that is this wick over here. All right, where we had this huge dump, which was a massive dump of about 30%. And this wick needed to be filled, and it did eventually get filled. We went through all this chop, all these farming stages. We came up and we tested this. We still hadn't filled the wick. And finally, we had this capitulation that did fill the wick. And now we've been below the wick for some time, going sideways. Let's get rid of this guy. So let's take a look at the overall crypto market. So we got Bitcoin on CoinMarketCap coming in at about 42,000. We have the overall market cap just under 2 trillion, with the volume at about 50, let's see, trillion. No, that can't be right. Let's see, billion, 49 billion. Bitcoin dominance coming in at about 40%, and ETH dominance coming in at about 19%. And to do a transaction on Ethereum, you have to spend about 72 GUI. So let's take a look at some of the better performers. So Solana up for the day minimally. Luna up 2%. Avalanche up 2%. So Cosmos up 7%. Did a little buying of Cosmos yesterday, and I won't explain why. Algorand up. So a lot of our layer ones are having good days. FTT token from FTX. What else is there? Hedera up 5%, and there was some news on Hedera that their protocol is going to become open source because someone had bought the patent and is going to be making the protocol open source. So Hedera might be something to watch in the future. I mean, that's good news for Hedera. Theta is another one we're looking at. We did trade into Theta. And I've said on this channel before that you don't want to be jumping coins too much, but we're doing okay with the jumping of the coins so far. Aave, one of our coins, down 2%. And it's sitting at number 49 on CoinMarketCap. And I think that is about it for CoinMarketCap. We got rid of Thorchain, and we got rid of Luna. So, you know, one of the reasons is that Luna, for example, is just at all-time highs. I mean, and there is some bearish divergence on Luna, where we have some higher highs and we got some lower highs. And as you can see, it's close to all-time highs. Now, it could break all-time highs and head up, but the coin that we ended up going with was Theta. And Theta, if you do look, it has been at this line of support for some time. So we are buying it at support. And the upside is a lot higher than Luna. So even if we do make it back to the previous macro high, that is a 100% increase. But what I see happening is probably getting back to about $6. And if that does happen from where we bought, that would be an increase of 30% with a lot more upside. And I think that would be a good trade. If we got back to all-time high, it would be a 250% increase from where we're at right now. So, we also got rid of Rune. And, you know, I don't know if that was a good move, to be honest with you, because we are in this falling wedge. And we are close to breaking out from this falling wedge. And when I see stuff like this, it makes me feel like Bitcoin is going to be breaking out a little bit more. Although we could just toe this trend line right here and keep going down. But Theta is one that we are watching closely. It is pretty bullish. It's been performing very well against Bitcoin. In fact, if we look, let's see if we can find the Theta Bitcoin pair. Theta Bitcoin on Binance. So, over the past couple days, it's been performing extremely well against Bitcoin. And as opposed to, let's say, Rune, which has just been declining against Bitcoin. So it hasn't shown much strength at all versus BTC. So, although it is here at the bottom, which is something you might want to keep, but Theta just seems like it's a little bit more bullish. We can always trade back into Bitcoin if we have to. Sorry. We could always trade back into Bitcoin if we want to. So, that being said, let's take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed coming in at 24 again? That can't be right. Wow, it's been 24 in the 20s for the past month. And our cluster continues to grow. So here's our little cluster here if you're looking. It's been quite the cluster since we've been in fear since December. And we were in like the most extreme fear as of lately on January 8th, reaching about a 10. That was a great time to buy. In fact, that was this dump right over here. That would be this dump right here. Let's see if that's the right date. On January 10th. So the fear was real. The fear was real. I told you, well, I'll get into it in a second. Let's take a look at the overall market heat map. Where are our winners? FTT is a winner. Leo is a winner. But we do have some in the green, as you can see. ADA down for the day. We did get out of ADA. We hit a stop loss, if you will. We sold for a loss. But, you know, H-bar up for the day. I'm telling you, H-bar is something to watch. Atom up for the day. Feeling the FOMO, although, you know, we're not going to FOMO into every single coin. We do have some cash on the side. So, let's take a look at what the changes were in our portfolio. So, we still hold our Sol in our Exodus wallet. We still have our AVAX. We bought one Aave, and we bought it a little bit high, but we only have lost about $15. E-Gold still down to 67. Our FTX is a little bit of cash on the side, earning us 8% APY. So it's probably got about 8 cents in there. But hey, those are gains. Matic, we bought $100 of Matic yesterday. Let's take a look at how that's doing. Matic is right here. And we did lose a little bit on Matic. We saw it start to come up. Kind of got a little bullish, bought. And of course, when you buy, as soon as it happens to come down. But this trend line has been holding extremely well throughout. And if you look, we have basically like one touch here, one touch here, one touch here, here, all throughout here, especially right here, and now right here. So this historically has been a good time to buy Matic. And if it does get up to another all-time high, which I do expect it to do if Bitcoin becomes bullish, you're looking at a 41% increase in Matic, and maybe even higher to a 50% increase in Matic. So just something to keep in mind. If you are looking to get into Matic, maybe now is a good time. It's another chart that's set up that Bitcoin, if it does become bullish, it kind of holds its market structure and can continue upward, a lot like Rune, and a lot like all these other coins that have been really bullish. We also dropped our ADA but got into Atom for about $400, and that one we actually are sitting in profit in, so that's really, really fun. Atom up about 5.5% on the day. Let's see if we're actually sitting in profit. We are sitting just above profit. Now the reason why we bought Atom is overall it's been long-term bullish. We did miss this big pump right here. If we had buy Atom, we would have made close to 80%. But if you do look, even with all the bearishness, we are making higher lows. We have our low, another low, and then another low. So we are holding market structure. Let's see if we just got a little bit of an upward trend here, where if we take that and extrapolate it there, not extrapolate it, but we do have a nice upward trend of support. And what I could see happening is Atom kind of makes some room here, and then if Bitcoin dumps, it kind of keeps coming back down to test as it stair steps its way up to all-time highs. And Atom I'm very bullish on in 2022, as my boy DJ Flexa pointed out. He is a good friend of mine in my Jordan Cameron. If you haven't checked out Jordan Cameron, he's a great YouTuber. He does technical analysis with comedy. It's really great, and some of the best people in crypto go into his chat, and his chat is the best chat in crypto. So that we got into Atom. Otherwise, our other coins are basically still in the negatives, although we did get a couple buys of Solana down here in the 30s, so that is something I'm very happy about. Although Solana could come as low as maybe in the 120s, maybe high teens, and that would be a dream if we got Solana down there. And the other good news is that we do have about $1,000 on the side, maybe now about $1,100 on the side, so we are 33% in cash, which is even better when you're in a bear market or in a downtrend, because you don't know how low it's going to go, and you don't want to catch a falling knife, which is why I did get out of Cody and of Solana and of ADA, because those were looking so bullish to me, and I was like, oh, ADA with the news, and Cody with its affiliation with ADA. ADA kind of took a big dookie. A big dookie. So it kind of did hit this downward trend of resistance there. All right, it wasn't a falling wedge, but I mean this one right here, and it got rejected, and it's not looking too great. And on that trade, since of course we bought the top because we thought it was going to break that trend line and go to the moon, we lost about 10%. It was about 10%. And then Cody, we actually didn't lose any money on, so that was really good. We sold right at our purchase line, and we've come down to kind of test that 21 EMA on the 12-hour. But Cody was making lower lows. So that was one of the reasons why we got out of Cody. We have lower low there, another lower low, another lower low, and then another lower low. So even though it's kind of flattening out as far as the lows go, and it kind of is making some type of pattern here where we have a downward trend of resistance right here, and we have an upward trend of resistance right here. Right like this. So we are forming kind of a symmetrical triangle, and if Bitcoin does remain bullish, we may see something like this, and we may want to take a little bit of a trade on Cody when we come down, make another lower low before we break out and head up to this level of resistance right here. So just something to think about if you are looking to get into Cody. There could be a potential trade there. I'll be looking for a trade there as well. And on the break, you'll be buying it right down here where, I did have it, for a nice 74% increase if it does go back to all-time highs, if Bitcoin does become bullish in the next 2 weeks. So that was something that we were looking at. So we are not sitting in profit as far as the overall portfolio goes. We are down $62. We did add a little bit of money in here just to kind of keep the portfolio level. Maybe not the most honest thing to do, considering I did lose about $200 already, which is really, really bad. We're trying to not do that this time. If you can tell, we are jumping coins slightly, but we bought into Cardano and Cody. We sold at a small loss, which is better than hodling without cash on the side. Because we went all in thinking, Ada and Cody were going to go to the moon on this news and defy Bitcoin and decouple, but that didn't happen. Oh, I'm frozen. I hate when I'm frozen. How does it freeze like that? Let's fix this. There we go. We're back. Hair's a little messed up, but that's okay. So yeah, we have lost a little bit of money in the portfolio, but again, we are sitting at the bottom. So there is a lot more upside than there is downside, in my opinion. Now, one of the reasons for this is we do have this downtrend of resistance. I thought I had this drawn in here. I think I erased it by accident. We do have this downtrend of resistance on the RSI, and we are coming up to test that right now. Could today be the break? We don't know. It does look like it does want to come up and test that trend line. Maybe not today, but maybe tomorrow, as it does come up and want to test this trend line. What I could see happening is, again, we test that trend line, come down into oversold territory as we make the dip down to 39.6 and come back up. So just something to be watching as far as Bitcoin goes. And let's see if there's something else I wanted to go over. We do have some stories, and let me take a little bit of a sip of my vape before we get into it. All right. So, from Blockwords, my boy DJ Flexa retweeted, Google created a dedicated blockchain unit, followed by the news today that the tech giant may allow clients to store crypto in their cards. So Google creates a blockchain unit, hires a new founding leader, and that story is right here. Google has appointed an executive to lead the newly formed unit dedicated to blockchain and data storage tech. So Google is forming a new blockchain unit dedicated to the tech and other next-gen distributed computing and data storage technologies. Google's push coincides with the hiring of former PayPal veteran Arnold Goldberg, who is the head of Google Payments division, as part of a broader strategy to link up with larger array of financial services, including cryptocurrencies. The move on Google's part comes after years of dancing around the direct investment into nascent blockchain tech. The tech giant now appears to want to catch up with Facebook's endeavors into the metaverse, as well as Twitter's investment into crypto infrastructure. So bullish for crypto as Google enters the space slightly, and maybe Google is the next one to buy some Bitcoin. Maybe in the bear market when it goes down, maybe they average their cost down, once it hits 30K, 20K, maybe even the high teens, which would be phenomenal because we could pick up some really cheap crypto down there. G2 esports team launching Solana NFTs as membership pass for fans. The popular League of Legends and Counter-Strike team will release profile picture NFTs on Solana in February. Esports Club G2 Esports will release Solana-based NFTs in February. The NFTs will provide exclusive access and perks to holders. Each of the 6,262 total NFTs will drop in February, features a randomly generated profile picture, but they also provide perks to holders. The Samurai Army NFTs are also billed as a pass to the G2 Esports exclusive membership initiative, which access to a social club with other users, interactions with the G2's professional esports players, early access to future G2 NFT drops, and more. An NFT acts like a receipt that proves ownership of a digital item and can apply to images, video files, and more. It can also serve as an access pass to a club, as with the particular Bored 8 Yacht Club. Solana has emerged as a popular alternative due to the lower fees, faster transactions, and significantly lower energy consumption. So, bullish for Solana. When you know we are a big investor in Solana, we have 242 staked at the moment, and we have close to $400 DCA'd at lower cost, like one in the 130s. So we are big investors into Solana. And finally, as you know, we did buy about $400 worth of Atom yesterday, and here's the reason. So Cosmos Exchange Osmosis expands to Ethereum asset with Gravity Bridge. Connecting Osmosis with the leading smart contract chain could give Cosmos automatic market maker another boost in total value locked. And total value locked is especially important for these layer 1 blockchains, as it does provide liquidity and value for DeFi. Excuse me. So, cross-chain decentralized exchange Osmosis is expanding its horizons with launch of new bridge that enables trading on Ethereum-based assets, attempting to enable cross-chain asset swaps and unified liquidity pools. Osmosis is an app-specific chain, meaning that the Osmosis Labs could take drastic steps to improve new user experience, including allowing for MetaMask signatures, which usually isn't compatible with Cosmos. Aiming for USD. Argwal said that Osmosis is aiming to capture volume for the Terra stablecoin UST in particular. He noted that there is only 24 million in liquid supply for the Curve Finance UST3 pool, while there is 160 million in liquidity on the Osmo UST pool on Osmosis alone. I think this market we are well positioned to capture, and there are new stablecoins coming to Osmosis as well, Argwal said. Really getting into that stablecoin market between Cosmos and Ethereum will be more important to TVL. Osmosis has been growing rapidly as of late, nearing doubling its totaling value locked TVL over the course of the month to 1.6 billion. That's with the B. Integrations with other Ethereum virtual machine enabled chains on the horizon, as well as the team hopes to enable cross-chain trading and non-fungible tokens in the near future. So bullish for Cosmos as their Osmosis bridge thrives. So let's take one more look at Bitcoin before we get going here. We are green on the daily, and we are still sitting at about 42,000, and we are. Bitcoin is just being a crab. It just wants to crab in this market, in this range between 44,000 and 39,500. So, Bitcoin being a little bit of a troll, and we are stair-stepping up right now, looking like we want to head up to this trend line. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah. Everything is kind of playing out. What do we expect to happen? I do expect kind of something like this. Maybe we don't get to the trend line. Maybe we start to come up here and then kind of roll over sideways and then kind of come down and whoop, and then consolidate down here for a little bit. Get everyone all scared again, fear at an all-time low before we break out and make a higher high. It's just something to think about. Maybe you can catch some cheap crypto. AVAX, you might be able to get it $80, maybe even $75. We have a cheeky little order here on AVAX at about, let's see, I think it's $75. Again, I think I showed you this yesterday on stream. I had to put in a limit order. So we got one there for $75. Just something to keep in mind if we do miss like a scam wick down or something like that. So I could see something like that playing out. Aave you could probably catch around 180 if you wanted to. Theta, it's already kind of at the bottom. Matic maybe about $2. ADA you probably could catch at about 110 if you wanted to. Dot you probably could catch around $23 to $20. Maybe you come back down here to about $22 maybe. And those would be my price predictions for the next drop. Other than that, that's about it. Everybody, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next video.